asking him various questions.
Y los mantras se cantan de forma monótona.
Jaya Shri Radheshyam and welcome. Namaste Gurudevaya Sarvasiddhi Pradayane Sarvamagala Rupaya Sarvananda Vidyayane. Women saints in the modern era. The primary source of information for women saints of the modern period is O.B.L. Kapoor's Hindi Brashke Bhakta that have been translated to English already long ago under the name of the Saints of Braj, Vrindavan. But not only that, I am surprised that he is not mentioned here, but you can read also Saints of Bengal by O.B.L. Kapoor, also in English, Saints of Bengal, and there are some female biographies as well, some Vaishnavis biographies. So both books by O.B.L. Kapoor, Braj Ke Bhakta and Bengal Ke Bhakta should be. Saints of Bengal and Saints of Braj. Altogether, there are only 12 women saints described in Braj Ke Bhakta, of which only 5 can be considered Gaudiyas. Though these women are respected for their saintliness. Only one, Sadhuma, is a leader in the sense of being an initiating guru. It is no coincidence that she was born into one of the great Gaudiya initiating families, that of Advaita Acharya. Otherwise, they were all also born in well-to-do families. Of the 3 who were Bengali, all were Brahmins. All 12 women whose biographies appears in Kapoor's book are renunciates, showing perhaps more the bias of what that author expects a saint to be like, and thus are not necessarily representative of true saintliness. Taken as a whole, the women of Braj Ke Bhakta show, as might be expected, a decided tendency to the Vatsalya or parental type of devotion. One outstanding exception to this is, of course, that of Srimati Devi, whose states learn to the Sakya or that the friendly mood as well be described. To add a few more words on this topic, in Braj Ke Bhakta and Saints of Bengal, Saints of Braj, they are mainly females who are under the power of Vatsalya Bhav. But if I will be speaking in this moment with my dear Jagadananda Das, I will say, don't you consider that is normal and natural that Matajis, that women of advanced age will have a Vatsalya mood? What other mood they can have? Well, Madhurya, Kantavav, but Vatsalya seems to be like the natural tendency of women. We can see this, I have been observing this on my own parikrams. Naturally, householder women or even girls, like young teenager girls who are doing parikram in Radhakund, in Vrindavan, in anywhere land of Kṛṣṇa, Radha and Kṛṣṇa, where all the bhavs are there, they are always sporting a Gopal, Bal Gopal. This means that the natural tendency, or maybe it's not the 100% truth, this mean, but I think it shows the tendency, natural tendency of women for this bhav, to take care of Kṛṣṇa as a son, as a mother. It's not the true nature of to feel this way? I think so, because I have seen children, small girls, teenagers, and old women in Parikram road from different parivars and different ways of life, to say, always with Gopalji. For me, this is a clear explanation of the conscious of women regarding to the bhav that they develop easily. It's there in their own nature. Okay? 1. Pichima Goswamini. This biography is outstanding. This is beautiful. Let's read it. Chandra Shashi Mukhopadhyay, later known as Pichima Goswamini, is the only woman mentioned in Haridas Das Gaudiya Vaishnava Jivani. Her story centers around the Gaura Nitay deities who are found today in Vrindavan in Banakandi near Loy Bazar. actually is in Loibazar. These deities at one time belonged to Chaitanya's childhood companion Murari Gupta, Murari Gupta deities, whose name is carved on the base of one of the statues. They were apparently lost at one time and later rediscovered in Siuri in Birbhum district in northwestern Bengal. A wandering Orissan monk, Balaram Das Babaji, while passing through Siuri, had a dream in which he was instructed to take over the service of the deities. Not long thereafter, the daughter of a wealthy landowner in Nadia district, Chandra Shashi, at the time only 20 years old, came to Siuri for business reasons. She became attracted to the deities and attended service regularly in the temple while there. One night, she had a dream in which Gaura Nitai came to her in the form of young boys and said that they were very hungry and wanted her to feed them kheer. Kheer, sweet rice. Because she had not been initiated, Balaram Das was not prepared to give food prepared by her to the deities. So she took initiation from him so that she could comply with Gaura Nitai's request. A few days later, when she was about to leave Siuri for home, she had another dream in which Gaura Nitai begged her not to leave, for otherwise who will give them such good things to eat? Like children, they tugged on her skirt and even tore off a piece of her cloth. Chandra Shashi awoke with a start and saw that her cloth was indeed torn. So all this lila happened in her dream, but when she woke up, the cloth was torn. The cloth broke, showing that the lila was not only a dream. Chandra Shashi awoke with a start and saw that her cloth was indeed torn. She went to Balaram Das, who found the missing bit of cloth in the hands of the deity of Gaura. Wow. This is the real deal. From that day on, she abandoned any intention of returning home to her village and decided to stay on in the service of Gaura Nitai. Jai Nitai, Jai Gaura. Not long thereafter, however, speculations about the nature of her relation with the monk Balaram Das started in the town. Balaram Das and Chandra Shashi decided, again on the basis of instructions given to them in a dream, to take Gaura Nitai with them to live in Vrindavan. They placed the deities on a boat and made the 1,600 kilometers trip along the Ganges and Jamuna to Braj. Chandra Shashi, known in Braj as Pichima Mataji, managed to build a new temple in Bharatandi for the deities who became known locally as Pichima's Gaura Nitai. Actually, I have been, I don't know if in this channel, but in the Gaura Sangha, in the Spanish channel, I have been uploading several videos on these deities that I always, when I am visiting, I am in the area of Loibazar, I go to pay my respect and prayers to Nitay Gour, Pichima's Nitay Gour. And actually I spoke that on the right moment that this happened, a lila, very interesting. I don't know what you will think about that, but I think and I see this as something very magical. Happened that I was visiting the mandir of Pichima Gaura Nitay in Loibazar, what we are speaking here. I was in that moment with my wife. I had my bike, I parked outside the temple, I put the keys inside my bag, and I went inside the temple, paid respect, spoke with the Goswami there, that I did even an interview in English to him, and leave my donation and prayers and love as much as I can. And I went out, very happy in the heart to have darshan of Pichima Gaura Nitay. The deities are spectacular, really. You feel the deities alive. It's not a statue with a beautiful shape. No, they are truly alive. You feel that. And well, I went out, I jumped to the bike, I opened my bag. You know, this handbag that you cross here in the chest or in the waist. So I opened, put my hand inside, a bag this size, this size, just for a wallet, key and your mobile, nothing else. I put my hand inside and tried to take the keys were not there. And I was extremely surprised, like, what? Where are the keys? And I take everything out, like the 3 or 4 things inside this small bag, and I look inside, no keys, my pockets, no keys. And I asked my wife, she was just 1 meter from me, say, do you have the keys? And she say, no, you have it. No, I don't. Please check your bag, I say to her. Check your bag. She check. No, I don't have the keys. You stop the bike and you put the keys in the bag. Yeah, this is what I remember. But I don't have the keys. So what? I dropped the keys. I lost the keys somewhere. Where? We have been walking 3 meters from the door of the temple. And the temple is small. In the deepness is like 20 meters, no more, from the door to the deity room. And side is about 7 meters with 5 meters. So it's very small. And I say, okay, let's walk all the same way back, looking everything, and the keys should be there. If I drop the keys are there. We check the ground, nothing. The ground of the temple, nothing. Where I give pranams, nothing, everything. I ask Pujari Goswami ji, I say, have you seen a pair of keys like this? No keys. And in that very moment, I thought, oh Kṛṣṇa, this is not fun. First, my bike was a very heavy bike, no scooty that you can walk easy, no problem. It's almost like a bicycle. No, this was a proper bike, a Royal Enfield I had back in time. It was heavy to carry. And we were a bit far from home, so it will be a heavy work, heavy duty. But the most important, if my mind was that maybe I left the bike and the keys were on. I didn't took the key, and I imagined that I took the key, but I left the keys on the bike. So I was thinking that this is problem, because if somebody saw this and took my keys and is watching at me, where I will leave the bike is very easy to steal the bike, The bike will be there, I have the key, I put the key on, bike on, run. And this happens in Bharat, in India, and in Vrindavan it happens also. So there I was very upset, like, this is not good, because if somebody got my keys, has my keys, he can take the bike, because I cannot even lock the bike now, since I don't have the keys. And I am there and I say, please, Nitay Gour, because of Pichima Gaura Nitay, I say, please, Gaura Nitay, Nitay Gouranga, please help me in this situation, that I need to find my keys, otherwise I will have problem. This is not a good thing. And can you imagine that in that very moment I open my bag one more time? I say I will check one more time. What was impossible, but one more time. I opened the bag, I put my hand inside, and the first thing that came out was my key. Can you imagine that? Can you understand this? And I have the key in my hand. I look at the key. I look at my wife and I was astonished, without words. I was just like this, wow. It was impressive. Like, I have no words to explain it, how this happened, but happened. The keys were there. So this was no doubt a lila display by Pichima Gaura Nitay, because inside this is a important thing on this story, on this lila, because inside the temple I say to my wife that how wonderful the lilas that Pichima Gaura Nitay, these deities did to Pichima. They came to the dreams, they get flu. In winter they get flu, and at the eyes of everyone they have lines coming from the nose. Like, they make so many things. The deities were small at that time. Pujari need bigger deities in order to fill the bhav. He had Sakya bhav. Maybe it will be explained in the text later. And the deities grow up, like 2 times, 3 times bigger than what the original deities were. So like they did so many incredible lilas to their devotees. So I say this, like, how wonderful will be that Gaura Nitay will show this kind of lilas, that I can experiment Gaura Nitay lilas from the deities, because these deities are in the bhav like kids, playing kids, like kids who are doing jokes. So I said this, and at the moment I went out, all this thing with the bike the keys of my bike were there. My keys were stolen by Nitay Gour deities, and they bring him back. So they put me in all this situation just for fun, to see how I will react. And I start praying, please. They have a good laugh, surely, with this servant. And I was blessed to have this experience, to experiment them firsthand. I know that this kind of experience, many times you should not speak or what you have in dreams or things like this. But why I say this is because many people will not believe the power of Nitay Gour, Radha Kṛṣṇa. Many people will think that this all is imagination of stuff like this. But when you have direct experiences, direct experiences that third people, other people is around you and can see it, then this is something else. That's why I share, because I know my followers are all devotees of Nitay Gouranga, and these are real things happening for devotees. I had no qualification to experiment any lila, but anyways, they bless this humble servant with this story. Later on, I can tell some other interesting thing going on, but that have been happening firsthand, but it will be in the right moment. Let's continue. Not long after, whoever speculation about the nature of her relation with the monk Balaram Das started in the town, Balaram Das and Chandrashashi decided again, on the basis of instruction given to them in a dream, to take Gaura Nitay with them to live in Vrindavan. They placed the deities on a boat made the 1,600 kilometers trip along the Ganges and Yamuna to Braj. Chandrashashi, known in Braj as Pichima Mataji, managed to build a new temple in Bharatandi for the deities, who became known locally as Pichima's Gaura Nitay. One of the interesting legends concerning Pichima Goswami is the following. One day, while preparing a meal for Gaura Nitay, whom she treated as her own children, her menses started, rendering her ritually impure for service for the deity. She was in her period, in her time of period, and then she cannot serve the deity. This interruption greatly distressed her. When she nodded off to sleep, Gaura Nitay came to her and told her that just as an ordinary mother does not interrupt her service to her own children while menstruating, neither should she. Furthermore, they assured her she will be liberated from this discomfort from that day on. She bathed and made the food offering to the deities and never again experienced the female cycle. Pichima Goswami led a strict life according to the Vaishnava regulations, bathing in the Yamuna 3 times a day, chanting on her rosary daily, etc. But her real focus was on Archana deity worship. She was engaged in a quasi-constant conversation with Nitay Gour, who also appeared occasionally to other people to demand various types of service. Later, when she was old and no longer personally bathed the deities on rendered other types of service, she still was able to know whether things were going in the desired manner by this personal communication. In a typical account, when one cold winter morning, Pichima's successor, Gopesvara Goswami, bathed Gaura Nitay with cold water. She divined the blunder when she saw that the deities had running noses. To Gopesvara Goswami's amazement, she ran a handkerchief over their noses to show him the proof that they had caught colds due to his carelessness. Haridas recounts that Gopesvara Goswami personally told him that when Pichima Goswami first asked him to take over the service of Gaura Nitay, he complained that he felt no pleasure in serving such small deities, as he did not have the same type of parental affection as she, but she was moved by the sentiment of friendship. But he, Gopesvara Goswami, was moved by the sentiment of friendship, Sakya Bhav. He said that Pichima then went to the deities, pulled on their chins, and they changed size to take on their present form. Spectacular. Here the lines explain that Gaura Nitay did different kind of acts in order to get some special services. And I will tell one story of Pichima Gaura Nitay that is not here, but I consider extremely sweet. So one day Nitay Gour was asking for special sweets and a special kind of bog to enjoy. And Pichima said, I cannot go now, I am ill, I cannot go to the shop to buy you sweets and the things that you are demanding, but please go by yourself. And Nitay Gour, the deities, walking, went to the nearby shop, and they asked to the shopkeeper, to the seller, please give us these candies, these fruits, this and that, this and that. And when the shop seller say, okay, this quantity of money you need to pay, the Nitay Gour said, yeah, don't worry, take note on this, and tomorrow our mother will come to pay to you, or you go to her to ask the money. So where is your mother? And they say, it's in that house over there, in that place over there. Say, okay, no worries. Two beautiful young boys, were not like cheating, were real. Say, okay, take everything, I go tomorrow. They went back. The next day, Pichima get the visit of the shopkeeper and say, Radhe, I came to ask the money of what your kids were buying yesterday. So, my kids were buying something? Yes, that you sent them to get candies and fruits and so on. And say, how they look like? Ma asks. And he answered, they were two boys, long hair, one dressed in yellow dhoti, the other dressed in blue dhoti. And Pichima was extremely surprised. Even she was surprised since, and she has these lilas constantly going on with them, but she was surprised that somebody else is seeing this, somebody from outside the mandir. And she said to him, please come here. And she opened the altar and she said, are them the kids who bought the candies and fruits? And the shopkeeper surprised say, yes, ma, they came to my shop. So of course, ma paid the bill of this sweet lila. How beautiful. By tomorrow we will read Ma Yashoda, 1944. I hope you enjoy this reading as much as me. Honestly, I felt transported by reading this story, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. As always, do what is correct. Like, subscribe, and share my video on your social media. Help me to keep growing, be part of this community, and help me and us to keep spreading the true Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the naked truth, the beautiful truth. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next. Mahavira Radha Raman Charandas Deva Ki Jai, Jai Nitai Jai Gour, Jai Jai Shri Radheshyam. We're asking him various questions.
Los mantras se cantan de forma monótona.